Where are the children? That question haunted America in late 2019. Two innocent kids, Joshua J.J. Vallow, just 7 years old, and his 17-year-old sister, Tylee Ryan, vanished without a trace. Their mother, Lori Vallow, seemed oddly unfazed. No public pleas, no tearful interviews, just silence and a smile. Police in Rexburg, Idaho, launched an investigation after a welfare check request. But what they uncovered was far more chilling than a missing persons case. Lori had moved states, lied to investigators, and married a man named Chad Daybell just weeks after his own wife died under mysterious circumstances. What began as a search for two missing children would soon unravel into a terrifying story of doomsday beliefs, religious fanaticism, and murder. In the heart of Rexburg, Idaho, lived a young mother named Lori Vallow. At 46, her life seemed to be falling apart. Her son, Tylee Ryan, was struggling at school. Her daughter, J.J. Vallow, was failing first grade. And her marriage to her third husband, Charles Vallow, was on the rocks. With a heavy heart, Charles decided it was best if he and Lori went their separate ways. Lori moved into a small apartment, and Charles relocated to nearby Salem. Despite the separation, both parents still deeply loved their children. But Lori harbored a secret worry. She feared her children were possessed by malevolent spirits. This unsettling belief would cast a long shadow over their lives. Lori grappled with her troubled marriage and fears of demonic possession. Her gaze turned toward the past. In a remarkable display of resilience, she managed to overcome these obstacles. She had already been married 3 times and had 5 children from previous relationships. Now she set her sights on pageantry, competing in local beauty contests and even earning the title of Mrs. Utah during this period. Her life took another dramatic turn when she met Melanie Jibb, although the exact nature of their relationship remains unclear. Melanie's presence had a significant impact on Lori's life. Melanie was a member of a group called the Community of Christ, which broke away from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In this community, polygamy was practiced, and Melanie had 4 wives herself. Through her association with Melanie, Lori was introduced to new religious ideas. Later, Lori would claim that she had experienced a vision during a prayer, where Melanie revealed to her the existence of an evil spirit within her youngest son, Joshua. This revelation would lead to a series of drastic decisions that would change their lives forever. After the alleged vision, Lori made the controversial choice to remove Joshua and his sister Tylee from school. Her intention was to homeschool them, but she had another motive. She firmly believed that the educational system was corrupt and infiltrated by government agencies, seeking to indoctrinate children into the New World Order, unwilling to risk her children being influenced by these forces. She took matters into her own hands. Meanwhile, Lori's personal life took an unexpected twist when she crossed paths with David Warwick, a successful businessman who shared her religious beliefs. The two quickly formed a deep connection and decided to get married. However, their marital bliss was short-lived as divorce rumors began to circulate. Adding to the turmoil, Lori faced financial struggles, eviction, and the daunting task of caring for her 6 grandchildren. Her mother had passed away, leaving Lori to take care of the children. Feeling overwhelmed and isolated, Lori confided in her friend, Melanie Jibb, seeking solace and guidance. Little did she know that this conversation would have profound consequences. During a quiet moment in Melanie's home, Lori experienced a transformative event. While kneeling in prayer, she saw Melanie's 4 wives, along with many other women, entering the room. Overwhelmed with emotion, Lori felt a sense of belonging and acceptance, believing these women were destined to be her spiritual partners. From that day forward, Lori dedicated herself to serving Melanie and her unconventional polygamous family. She immersed herself in the teachings of the Community of Christ and became an active member of the group. In January 2018, tragedy struck the Vallow family when Lori's brother, Alexander Cox, fatally shot their uncle, John Thomas Ryan. Initially, The circumstances surrounding the shooting were unclear. According to reports, Alexander acted in self-defense, claiming that John had threatened him with a gun. However, the situation took a bizarre turn when Lori's brother admitted to killing her estranged husband, Charles Vallow. The motive behind this shocking revelation remained shrouded in mystery. Was there more to the story than met the eye? Around this time, Lori's belief in doomsday prophecies intensified. She became convinced that the end of the world was near and that a great battle between good and evil was imminent. These beliefs led her to withdraw further into her religious community, immersing herself in their apocalyptic teachings. Then, in February 2019, Lori's life took an unexpected turn when she met a man named Chad Daybell. Their connection was immediate and intense. Just a month later, Chad's wife, Tammy Daybell, died suddenly in her sleep. Despite the tragedy, Chad and Lori wasted no time in starting their relationship, and within weeks they were on a trip to Hawaii. There, they exchanged vows and embarked on a romantic getaway. The couple returned from their honeymoon, and Lori moved into Chad's home in Salem, Idaho. But their idyllic life together was marred by a disturbing incident. When one of Chad's sons visited, he reportedly found his father standing over Lori with a knife, allegedly preparing her for a ritualistic ceremony. This disturbing encounter raised questions about the nature of their relationship and the dark secrets they shared. Despite the red flags, Lori continued to move forward with Chad. In June 2020, the authorities were alerted to a troubling discovery on Chad's property. A pilot who had flown Lori and Chad to Hawaii had reported them missing. Alarmed by their absence, the authorities decided to investigate. To their shock, they discovered the remains of Lori's two children, JJ and Tylee, buried in shallow graves on Chad's property. The news sent shockwaves through the community, leaving everyone to wonder how two innocent children could have met such a tragic fate. When the police arrived at Chad and Lori's home, they found no sign of the couple. Desperate to find answers, they reached out to Brandon Budrow, Lori's former attorney. He revealed that he had not heard from Lori in a while, but he did have contact with Chad. According to Brandon, Chad had left a cryptic message stating, "We followed the protocol." This puzzling statement suggested that there was a planned disappearance and raised concerns about the possibility of foul play. As the investigation deepened, the authorities uncovered more disturbing details. Chad and Lori had allegedly planned to fly to Hawaii using JJ's identification. Additionally, surveillance footage captured their activities prior to their disappearance, showing them purchasing trash bags, duct tape, bleach, and shovels. This evidence pointed towards a sinister plot that had been meticulously executed. The news of the missing children shocked the tight-knit community of Salem, Idaho. Residents expressed their disbelief and sadness as they gathered to remember the innocent victims. Many described the children as happy and well-liked members of the community. The outpouring of grief highlighted the profound impact that JJ and Tylee had on those around them. As the search for the missing children continued, the authorities faced a frustrating lack of cooperation from Chad and Lori. They refused to provide any information or assistance, leaving investigators in the dark. Their silence only fueled speculation and heightened the sense of mystery surrounding the case. With no leads forthcoming, the authorities were forced to broaden their search radius, hoping to find any trace of JJ and Tylee. They examined nearby farmlands and wilderness areas, utilizing helicopters and cadaver dogs, but their efforts proved fruitless. The vastness of the terrain made the search challenging, and as days turned into weeks, hope began to dwindle. Amidst the ongoing investigation, questions arose about the role of Lori's apocalyptic beliefs in the case. Some speculated that her extreme views may have influenced her actions. Others wondered whether her association with Chad, who also held apocalyptic beliefs, had played a part in the children's disappearance. As the community grappled with these questions, fear and uncertainty lingered in the air. To make matters worse, communication with Lori became increasingly limited. She stopped responding to phone calls and messages, leaving her loved ones worried and confused. This isolation only added to the growing concern surrounding her involvement in the case. As the investigation reached a critical point, law enforcement officials decided to conduct a search of Chad's property. Armed with a warrant, they meticulously combed through every inch of the premises, hoping to uncover any evidence related to the missing children. Their search yielded a horrifying discovery: human remains. The news sent shockwaves throughout the community and the nation. The once sleepy town of Salem, Idaho, found itself thrust into the spotlight as the site of this gruesome crime. In the face of overwhelming evidence, Chad and Lori were brought into custody. Their arrest sent a wave of relief through the community. Finally, justice seemed to be taking its course. But as the legal proceedings began, the full extent of their alleged crimes was revealed. On June 26, 2020, the harrowing details of the case came to light. During a press conference, the authorities disclosed that the remains found on Chad's property belonged to JJ and Tylee. The news shook the community to its core. The realization that the missing children had met such a grim fate brought an outpouring of grief and anger. The community mourned the loss of 2 innocent lives while demanding justice for the victims. The prosecution argued that Lori and Chad had meticulously planned the murders of JJ and Tylee, driven by their apocalyptic beliefs and desire to create a new world order. They presented evidence that the couple had concealed their crimes, going to great lengths to hide the bodies and mislead the authorities. The defense, however, attempted to cast doubt on the evidence, suggesting that Chad acted alone. They portrayed Lori as an unsuspecting accomplice who had been manipulated by Chad's charismatic personality and apocalyptic visions. As the trial progressed, disturbing details about the case emerged. Witnesses testified to the couple's strange behavior, including their obsession with doomsday prophecies and claims of extraterrestrial encounters. The prosecution argued that this obsession had consumed Lori and Chad, leading them to commit unspeakable acts. They suggested that the couple believed they were carrying out a divine mission by eliminating individuals they deemed possessed by evil spirits. Throughout the trial, haunting images of JJ and Tylee were displayed in court, reminding the jury of the innocent lives that had been cut short. Their absence was deeply felt by their family and friends, who waited anxiously for justice to be served. The prosecution's closing arguments painted a grim picture of the events leading up to the murders. They argued that Lori and Chad had targeted JJ and Tylee based on their own beliefs about demonic possession and the need for a new world order. The state's case rested on proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the couple had planned and carried out the murders. If convicted, they faced the possibility of life imprisonment or the death penalty. The verdict was a resounding guilty on all counts for Lori. The judge, Judge Boyce, sentenced Lori to serve 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. The sentence was the maximum punishment allowed by law, reflecting the severity of her crimes. As Lori was led away in handcuffs, the courtroom erupted in gasps and whispers. Many in attendance felt a sense of closure, believing that justice had been served. However, the pain and trauma endured by JJ and Tylee's family would continue to linger. The case of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell serves as a chilling reminder of the depths of human depravity. The murder of 2 innocent children shook the nation and raised questions about the dangers of apocalyptic beliefs and the importance of addressing warning signs. Society grapples with this horrific case. It's crucial to remember the victims and work toward preventing such tragedies in the future.